found a picture last night. A picture that I don't remember. It was saved in my favorites, and I don't remember ever saving it. And it's obviously a picture of a picture. I don't even know how I found it. I don't remember taking it, the picture originally. I don't remember being in it. I certainly don't remember saving it in my favorites. But in that picture, it's a young me. And my kids were very, very young. London is obviously just an infant. So if London is a month or two old, Blaine is 2, Hayden's 4, and Parker is 6. I slept last night, but not as good as I normally do. Because I had that picture, and I even dreamt about it. I had that picture in my head all night long and all morning. And it's so weird how so many aspects of that picture are so familiar. Holding little tiny London right here. It's so vivid in my memory. And Hayden's hand on top of my head. I think it's Parker's hand. It's either Parker's, but I can't tell. I don't remember. Their little faces. Their little faces are so familiar, yet I don't remember what room we're in. Certainly don't remember what house we're in. I don't remember who took the picture. I don't remember taking the picture. I see my body, and I remember being that slender and that young, which I'm obviously not anymore. Their ages 0, 2, 4, and 6. So that had to have been 2005. I've spent over a decade trying to convince the powers that be in the beginning, the judges, and later the social media, convincing them that I'm not a monster. And I know a lot of people don't believe that, but a lot do. And what is a lot? I don't know. What is a lot of people? Some people are convinced that I was this abandoning monster that simply made 4 kids and then left and was never to be seen again. A few weekends here and there. And it's just simply not true. I don't understand how I can tell judges back then and tell people about how it really was, and so many people simply not believe me. the best analogy I can give for it is you hold someone's hand and you walk them out to a beach, and you place their feet ankle deep in seawater in the ocean and ask them to describe what they see. You would expect to hear, I would expect to hear something along the lines of, I feel the warm ocean. I smell the salt air. I hear the seagulls and the pelicans hunting for food. That's what I would expect to hear someone describe if that was what I was doing. And to hear, stop oppressing me, stop burning my eyes. Why have you kidnapped me and brought me here? If I were to hear that, it would be just baffling to me. Like, what? You're on a beach, a beautiful, beautiful, sunny beach. And that's how I've felt all these years. I've never cared where my kids lived. As long as they got to choose, I didn't care. I've said that since day one. And for, especially back then, the powers that be, the judges, they didn't care. All they felt on that beach was, why are you doing this? You're a terrible person. Why have you brought me here? Why are you burning my eyes? Instead of, oh, what a lovely beach. What lovely sand. What beautiful wind. Back then, like I said, it was 2005. There's no such thing as social media. What I see in that picture, again, I don't remember taking the picture. I don't remember what room we were in, much less what house we were in. I know what year it was only because of the age of the kids. What I see in that picture is just a snapshot of what life was like back then. When Parker was 6, not 14. Parker was 6. Hayden was 4. Blaine was 2. London was an infant. That picture's, it's messed with my head. I found it literally 12 hours ago, not even. When London was born, I'd already had the 3 boys, and I've talked about this. That was the most beautiful creature I had ever seen in my life. I know it sounds corny and cliched, but it's true. And I remember making a pact, taking a vow of sorts. Not even necessarily speaking it aloud, but thinking it. I remember placing her little car seat right after we carried her from the hospital and placed her in that little car seat in the car. I remember making a vow of something along the lines of, beautiful little girl, no matter what life throws our way, I will always protect you to the best of my ability, even if it means the death of me. I will do my best to protect you. And never in my wildest dreams did I have any inkling of just how hard it would be to fulfill that vow. And to this day, again, I know there's a lot of people who support us, support me personally. People that not just don't know me, but there are people that don't know me, but people who've just followed me over the years because of social media. I know there's a lot of people that do support my efforts. And I know I shouldn't let some things bother me. And for the most part, I don't let it bother me, especially now. But it's still baffling to me how so many people, I mean, just as a kind of a reference, the Parker movies got 30,000 thumbs down. 30,000 people do not like that video and they wanted their voice heard. Is 30,000 a lot of people? I think so. I would say 30,000, but you know, there's towns with far fewer than 30,000 people, entire towns. There's entire counties with far fewer than 30,000 people. But I mean, you compare that to the number of thumbs up, then that's a small number. But still, until Judge Sarah Kate Billingsley came along, 100% of all the judges didn't believe me. Or they didn't care, or both. And this nuclear bomb was dropped on my family. And the root cause that I see, whether I'm right or wrong, I don't guess it really matters now, but how I see it is the root cause of all of it is Title IV defunding. I see people who support me, and some that know me personally and some that don't, but even the ones who don't, they don't understand, even though they do support my efforts and wanting to be involved in my children's lives as they're growing up so they would know their dad, they don't understand, Caleb, how can you be an agnostic? Caleb, how can you be an anarchist? How can you not support, if not the loving God that I love, but some God? How can you not acknowledge God? How can you be an anarchist, Caleb? How can you not support at least some political ideology? How can you not be either Republican or a Democrat? How can you not be that? You're not even a libertarian, Caleb. You've said so in your videos. I've heard you. How can you not? And the only answer I have for you is, how could I not, I guess. How could I support a political party? How could I support a God that did this to my family, a benevolent God? And I know people are going to say, you've got to have faith, and give me all the parables of the Bible of people suffering, and I'm just like, can you not see that if there is a benevolent God, he doesn't give a crap about you or me? Obviously. How can you not support a political party? Well, look what they did. Look at that picture. Yes, I was naive and probably dumb back then. But I love my kids, and we were together. That wasn't there. Like I said, there's no such thing as social media. There wasn't such thing as all these narcissists holding up cameras in their faces, taking constant, never-ending selfies just to put it up, post it, post it, post it. It was just a picture we took to have memories. I remember being a child myself, and Mom had this drawer, big drawer. It was just chock full of old pictures. There's no such thing as digital. Just old pictures, seeing me when I was born, and pictures of old people when they were younger. I just wanted memories. I just wanted to remember their little faces. And when I found that picture, again, I don't remember how I saved it in my phone. I don't know. But when I saw that memory, it took my breath away. I just wanted a memory to remember those days. I wanted my kids, what my thinking back then was to be able to go find that big drawer full of Dad's old pictures. Life's funny. You expect it to be one way, and in my case, it just didn't work out that way. I just wanted my kids to know their dad. And they do. Obviously, I don't talk about my kids currently, what they're doing, their relationship with other people, and I'm not going to. I know that's what people want to know, and sorry, not talking about it. And I know the conclusions that some people are going to come, because I've painfully learned that you can walk someone to a beach and place their feet in the ocean and take the blindfold off and show them and ask them to describe it, and they're going to say, "Why are you oppressing me? Why are you exploiting me? Stop burning my eyes." It's still baffling, though, which is all the more reason why I am agnostic. I simply don't know. Maybe there is a God or gods, and maybe there isn't. It's all the more reason why I'm an anarchist. And I know that's not a popular thing to say because of how that word is demonized by the media. It just simply means without rulers. That's all it means. Conversely, government means, the root word is to control the mind, or control the mind of men. I obviously don't like being controlled. I obviously question authority. Does that make me a bad person? If you ask me, you just watch the political spectrum as the way I've watched over the years. When the Republicans are in power, the Democrats question authority. They trash the president. They trash the judges. When the Democrats are in power, the Republicans trash the president, question the authority. I just simply have step back and look at the big picture, and I watch it go back and forth and back and forth and back and forth and back and forth, and it never ends, which only leads me to what I would perceive as stating the blatantly obvious, questioning the whole thing, both sides of the aisle, the gods. Which one's real? There's a bunch of them. People worship a bunch of different gods. Which one's real? Which one's benevolent and loving and caring? Because what I see, the one that I was taught to believe was the true God, that cared about me, had no problem giving free will and letting the atomic bomb fall on my family. That's why I'm the way I am. And regardless of what anyone thinks of me, even my own children, I've proven over and over and over, I think, how much I love my kids. Never in a million years did I think it would come to this. And I'm not sad. I didn't cry. I think I'm happy. It just boils down to, what is the ultimate truth? Where did we come from? How did we get here? Why do things work out the way they worked out? It's the great unknown. I simply don't know. The only thing that I know is real is how I feel about my kids. How much I love them to this very day. That I know is real because I can feel it. Maybe I've not done a good job at describing my love for my kids, but it's kind of like pain. How do you judge? How do you put a number? How do you quantify, like if you're in a hospital, pain? How do you quantify that? The best anybody can do is just describe and give analogies. My leg feels like it's being sawed off, something like that. And the doctors, having never had their own leg sawed off, can only imagine how painful that would be. That's the best we can do to quantify. It's the best I can do to quantify how much I love my kids. I have this picture, again, that I didn't take. I don't know who took it. Don't even know what room we're in. I don't recognize the room. But I do recognize my kids. Those beautiful smiles. Their little expressions. I remember all of them so vividly. It's hard to describe. It's complex, but it's real. And I've tried for most of my adult life, first and foremost, to prove to my kids how much I love them. I think I have done a good job, or at least a decent job. But since the power structure exists the way it is, with judges who get to decide my fate, decide the fate of my children, I've had to do my best to describe my love for my children to them. Because apparently That's the structure that was placed. That it is their business. And I only can conclude that it is put in place because of Title 40 funding. I don't care how much that bores anybody or upsets anybody or not, makes people just simply not care. Oh, I'm going to quit following Caleb Leverett. He's full of crap. He's boring. I don't care. I don't care if it means the death of my channel. I don't care. That's how I see it. Title 4 defunding. Well, I'm about to set sail here in the next few days or maybe a couple weeks. So I've got some things I got to go take care of. But if you've made it this far, thanks for listening. Hug your kids. Consider not hitting your kids. Please consider that maybe what you were taught your whole life is complete crap. Question everything.